Hi Saviors, GH here. This is part 2 of the skill rebalance of July 28, 2020. We're going to start where we left off. And if I remember it correctly, we stopped at the Wugushi skill rebalance. So let's go on ahead and let's finish up. And with that said, let's do this. Okay, here's the Wugushi changes. They now gave us the ability to just use the venom to fill up the poison. It used to be convoluted, but now it's a bit simple. But I still want them to just remove that poison amount, because it's unnecessary. Again, you're not pro MLG if you're good at filling up that poison amount. Just remove that poison requirement. It's a problem that we didn't need to have. Next skill is Zendu. It now turns into a buff that increases Wugushi skills by 70%, but in exchange, your Wugushi skills can't crit when Zendu is active, and also enemies can't avoid or block Wugushi skills. This is gonna be good for new players with low crit. Then they remove Detoxify. Then after that, Wugushi skills is slightly buffed except for Jinkangu. Because as I see it, they lower the chances of poisoning a target, and they also reduce the number of insects that can pop out of a dead Jinkangu debuff target. And that's Wugushi. To be honest, I think the changes weren't enough. Or I might need more testing with this one. Anyway, next class is Sapper. Stake Stockades, you can only use them one time now, and the cooldown is faster. Claymore and Punji Stake got a high skill factor increase, which will definitely help out in damage, but the problem with those skills are the delay of animation when using it. It's too long. It's not worth it, for me at least. We will see after further testing. Detonate Traps got a skill factor increase, okay? Then we can now use Spring Trap 3 times. This is gonna be annoying in Guild Wars. Broom Trap is hardly any different, same as Spike Shooter. That's Sapper. I still don't like it. I still feel it's inadequate. That's too disappointing archer class. What the hell, IMC? You don't like archers? Wugushi is slightly better, but Sapper is kinda meh. Next class is SR. They added the new attribute called Special Steering. To put it simply, your crit damage increases when you're moving. Then they added a new enhanced upgrade art for Limakon. No comment. Farming now at the moment is not that profitable. When Terrenium is added, maybe we'll look back at SR. Next class we have is Bullet Marker. And Double Gun Stance now also increases all damage by 40% except dagger attack. This is a significant increase. 40% is a lot. Tracer Bullet is buffed because they increase the minimum crit rate of the attribute. Now, Outrage is reworked. Now it only takes advantage of this so-called overheating stack. And when you use Outrage when you have 4 and above overheating stack, the overheating stack will turn into an Outrage stack that gives additional effect to most Bullet Marker skills. And to get the overheating stack, you just need to use Bullet Marker skills. One Bullet Marker skill gives 2 overheating stacks. So yeah, it's a bit convoluted, but you will get increased damage with doing this. Now, with Napalm Bullet, when you have an Outrage stack, it will also inflict a Taste debuff that gives additional damage to enemies when hit. And it also got a skill factor increase. For RIP, no skill factor change. And they added the damage increase and defense ignoring capability when Outrage stack is present. Mozambique Drill, they increased the skill factor and added effects when using it with Outrage stack. Without the Outrage buff, it's hardly any different, because even though they increased the skill factor, they lowered the number of use, which is kinda deceptive. If you look at it closely, it's hardly any different. The Outrage Mozambique Drill though is good, but you have to go through the process of stacking overheat when using Outrage. For Bloody Overdrive, it's the same, but with the added Outrage effect that makes it hit the whole area. Lastly, they combined Freeze Bullet and Silver Bullet. We now need to choose from Freezing and Holy Attack. This one is not good because previously we can get both. We can do both. But now we need to choose. For the other skills, they deleted them all. And that's BM. To be honest, I do not like the outrage function that they added here, but the damage increase of double gun stance is very good. Our next class is Sheriff. According to this, we have a new attribute called Reload. And to put it simply, when any of your Sheriff attacks underwent cooldown, you will get 3 stacks of Reload buff that increases critical damage by 4% and all attack damage by 2% per stack. This is a very good attribute because using Sheriff attacks is what you're gonna do anyway, so stacking it up, it's not a big problem. Quick Draw got a skill factor increase. Fanning is reworked. They lessened the cast time to 1.5 seconds only, which is good. But they removed the additional damage to Peacemaker debuff target, and they lowered the skill factor. This seems like a nerf to me, but the lower cast time is gonna help for sure. For West Raid, they changed the number of 100% hit, the number of hits that you can do, 100%. That's confusing. And Peacemaker got a significant damage increase, but they increased the cooldown. This could be good because there's an art for this that turns it into an AoE attack. And for aiming shot, hardly anything changed. And that's Sheriff. This class is definitely buffed. That reload attribute alone will help Bullet Marker increase more damage. The thing that will happen here is Sheriff will almost always be accompanied by Bullet Marker. Without each other, they will be just another class. It's kinda like the Musketeer Tiger Hunter. Next class is Miko. They added Gohei Overload, and if I understand this correctly, it increases enemy SP consumption. Okay. Next is for the Cleric class 3. They added Cure Overload, which increases SP consumption? But why? We're gonna do testing later. Next is they added a new attribute for heal, and it's called Treat Urgent Target. And what it does is heal the lowest HP member in the party. That's basically it. It simplifies healing. Next is Kabbalist. As I see it, they nerfed Ainsoft, but automatically healing every 5 seconds isn't that bad. It's still very useful. And Tree of Sephiroth, slight skill factor increase. And now, Paladin. They increased the property damage of Resist Element attribute. And for the most part, they lowered the number of holy water needed to use some Paladin spells. They could have just removed it totally, but oh well. They want it that way. Tell me why. And Devotion no longer reduces the caster's durability. This is good, because I used to do this a lot when I tested Paladin, and the durability goes down real fast. And lastly, they increased the barrier bonus damage effect of attributes, which is good, I guess, because the buff is weak. What we have next is for Lancer. Now there's a cast time when using Gigante Marcha on PvP. We could hear a few complaints on this because there's a lot of Lancers now. For Matador, Corrida Finale has better skill factor now. Oh my. This skill definitely needed this because it's too low skill factor. For Templar, they changed Shield Charger to Receiver's 10% maximum HP, which is good if the caster HP is low and bad if the caster's HP is high. Anyway, it's a skill that's hardly used. For Necromancer, they nerfed Gather Corpse because they buffed the base summons. And for the final one that received changes, it's the Swordsman class 3, of course. They added more damage if you take Blossom Blader. And that's it, guys. That's all the skill rebalances. For the most part, it's good. The scout classes is now updated. Bow users should be next. Please make the bow users relevant again. Anyway, like it if you like the video, share, and then subscribe to be part of the Gaming Hardcore family. And as always, this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.